My name is Derek Anderson. I've been attending Vintage Grace since November of 2021 with my family. I have a wife and 2 teenage kids. As we started dipping our toe into a life group, they were like, hey, you guys should start going to these church planting meetings because we're going to plant a church in your town. As we got closer and closer to launch, I was kind of at the back of the bus, like, yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm super looking forward to the shorter drive to church. Like, will it taste like vintage up here in my town? And the wildest transformation, the wildest change occurred once we started. It was basically like a big life group. They came up here and they're like, hey, we're gonna hang out. You should come hang out with us. It was undeniable. There was no, you would leave every get together like, man, like you just knew God was working. It feels like a life group that keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger is probably the best way I can describe it.
I'm Joe. I've been coming here to Vintage Grace Placerville since we started. Prior to that, I went to El Dorado Hills for about 6 months.
Before we launched, we met Will and Katie Watson. We were on their softball team, and as Will was mentioning, they were getting ready to launch a church here in Placerville. And so our church launched with 4 of these families that, were from our softball team that we just met through our kids' sports.
Coming here to Vintage Grace Placerville, right? Katie's on staff, and she's deeply engaged in our children's program, which is awesome. And I think being on mission goes deeper than just showing up on Sunday. More than that is engaging folks, whether they're hanging out in the parking lot before church and they're curious of what this new church is all about, or talking to the people across the fence at the apartment complex and just saying, hey, how's it going? How's your week going?
This year we also had our first base camp. We have about 40 to 50 kids here on Sunday, but we had 90 kids come to our first base camp here in Placerville. 90 campers, and then even about like 50 middle school, high school helpers. I know I had one kid who, I know their parents, they came because a couple of our families swim with them, and they came to camp. It was just super fun to see our community here at Vintage Grace Placerville loving on the Placerville community through base camp.
My name is Andy Wisnan. This is my wife, Allison Wisnan. We've been going to Vintage Grace Placerville since the preview services, and then from when it planted a year ago. And when we moved up to Placerville, it was like during the pandemic, so it was kind of hard to go to church in general. And I think we were just kind of stagnant for several years. And we had started attending someone's life group. And so just the idea of like getting in at the ground floor and the small church feel and feeling like you can actually like do life together with people, we were just sorely missing that.
I can kind of testify to how different it was for our kiddos to make the shift in starting to go to a life group and make actual friendships and connections. The transition here was just really sweet for them, and really special for us as parents and kiddos who have a really hard time assimilating into a new environment. To see them come here and just be welcomed as family was really something we've never experienced before, and it was really, really special for us and for our kiddos.
I think the coolest thing has just been seeing this community grow. The intentionality that's preached here about who is one person you could be praying and watching over, and who is somebody that like needs to know Jesus, who is somebody I can share my joy with and get them to be a part of this awesome thing we're doing here.
There's a lot more intentionality, but I think there's also just a lot more joy, to use a word we've been using a lot this morning, in inviting people in. It's a completely different experience to want to invite somebody to a Sunday morning because you know you're coming there and you're bringing them, and you've got 20 people that you can introduce them to who want to get to know them, and it's like inviting them to family breakfast.
It's funny, I've had to apologize to the people in our life group because every week someone new joins and I have to make a new group chat. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I have to make a new group chat this week because we have a new person joining. But I said, that's the kind of problem you want to have. Like, if I have to keep making a new group chat because somebody invited their neighbor, like that is absolutely the kind of problem you want to have. And so if I could just see the life groups continue to flourish and people get plugged in, I think that would be amazing.